What happened to Macklemore? Back in 2012, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis were one of the hottest names in the music industry. Their song Thrift Shop was an anthem and carried the world in 2013. Although it seems like the hip-hop duo was on track for total dominations, we haven't heard much from Macklemore and Ryan Lewis in a few years. So what happened and what are they doing today? Let's take a look in this video. The 2010s were a roller coaster ride for Macklemore. He went from being a little-known rapper to having one of the biggest albums in the world and winning multiple Grammy Awards. While it might seem like Macklemore's career ballooned overnight, he's been working as an independent artist for years. Macklemore, whose real name is Benjamin Haggerty, grew up in the Seattle area to working-class parents. He started dabbling in music while attending college, and by 2000, he released an EP called Open Your Eyes under the name Professor Macklemore. 5 years later, he dropped Professor from his moniker and released his debut album, The Language of My World. A few years after the release of his first record, Macklemore met Ryan Lewis, a DJ and producer. The pair teamed up for their first joint project in 2010, an extended play called The Versus EP. They quickly began work on their follow-up project, a full-length album. But rather than try to get a traditional record label like most mainstream musicians, the two opted for a DIY approach. After several years of productions, Macklemore and Lewis had an album ready, The Highs. They had built a fan base online, but they wanted their work to go further. They signed a deal that allowed them to trade a small percentage of their royalties for some major label benefits, like radio promotion. This partnership allowed Macklemore and Lewis to retain their status as independent artists while dramatically scaling their reach. Thanks to their partnership with the Alternative Distributions Alliance, singles from The Highs were promoted to alternative and pop radio stations. The rest is history. The duo skyrocketed to success between 2012 and 2014 with singles like Thrift Shop and Can't Hold Us playing on nearly every radio station. The duo went on to win 3 Grammy Awards in 2014. The duo went dark following the release of their 26th follow-up album. And when they failed to submit the sophomore album for Grammy considerations, rumors started to swirl about the future of Macklemore and Lewis. It seemed like the duo behind Can't Stop Us had indeed been stopped. In 2017, Macklemore broke his silence and confirmed that the musical duo were no longer working together. There was no bad blood between the two, however, and they agreed that some space would help them creatively. However, there's a dark side to Macklemore's life that you probably don't know. The rapper has been suffering from addictions and substance abuse since 2008, including a life-threatening overdose. In 2021, Macklemore opened up to Up Rock's video about his addictions, and he credited therapy sessions and treatment as the main thing that helped him through the dark time. He said, "If it wasn't for my pops having the 10 or 12 racks that it was when I first went to treatment and willing to spend that on me, I'd be effing dead." Macklemore is very open about his struggles with substance abuse on TikTok on July 24th. The rapper opened up about his struggles during the COVID-19 pandemic, saying, "I relapsed during the first summer of COVID. Today, I have been 694 days clean." The rapper got a flood of supportive comments from fans as some TikTokers shared their stories about battling addiction. In the rapper's new song Chant, which released this July, he talks about his struggles with addiction. A line in the lyric says, "Look at where we started, look at where we got to. Almost OD'd that night in the hospital." Speaking of his private life, Macklemore married his longtime girlfriend Trisha in 2015, and the two have 2 young kids who he frequently posts on Instagram. He also released his own line of golf clothes called Bogey Boys, meant to modernize your traditional golfing gear. Think bold colors and prints like a tartan windbreaker and a soft pink cardigan. Macklemore started out his 2022 by performing at the famous New Year's Rockin' Eve event and released some new music, which prompted him to go on tour. In August 2022, he shared that he performed at the iconic Fenway Park. Macklemore has come a long way from his early days making music, partnering with Ryan Lewis. His struggles with addictions, the COVID pandemic, and a brilliant comeback since 2021. The rapper has a bright future ahead and a great family he can share his success with. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.